Do aliens exist? That's a really interesting question, and one that we have been trying to understand and explore and figure out for a really long time. We have not yet discovered life on any other planet. We haven't seen any scientifically supported evidence for extraterrestrial life. So, we will keep looking.
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
Good call!
Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. So we have quite a bit to cover today. Some amazing footage, some crazy high strangeness captured on camera out of Ukraine. I know you guys have been asking for that. But first, I want to talk about some breaking space-related news where it has just been discovered by a space agency belonging to the UAE, or United Arab Emirates, and what they dubbed their Hope Mars mission team has reported that a spacecraft that they launched out to monitor Mars and make discoveries has indeed already fulfilled its purpose in this new discovery of what is being called a, quote, new mysterious Martian aurora. And there are multiple news articles on this. I'll cycle through here. UAE's Hope spacecraft discovers mysterious new aurora on Mars. Mars probe discovers shocking new aurora, calling it shocking. UAE's Hope probe discovers huge worm-like aurora on the red planet. And these articles go on and on. And so basically what you're seeing here in this image would typically be something you would see above Earth or in satellite or video imagery happening above our planet. And it's pretty standard and typical stuff where on Earth during certain times we will have these beautiful hundreds or even thousands of miles long green glowing sort of zigzagging clouds. And aurora, for those of you who don't know, and specifically what is Earth's aurora, well, it's also known as the polar lights, and is a natural light display in the Earth's atmosphere, predominantly seen in high latitude regions, especially around the Arctic and the Antarctic. So you'll just have these beautiful, usually green in color light shows. And we have seen these occur on other planets out in space, like Jupiter and Saturn, for instance, but we've never really seen one quite this strange and shocking. As was quoted, this Hope probe has discovered a huge, shocking, enigmatic, worm-like aurora on the red planet. Just yesterday, on April 27th, out of Dubai, new images of this mystery glowing atmospheric lights over Mars, known as discrete auroras, were released by the Emirates Mars Mission, or EMM. The pictures taken by the orbiting Hope probe provided a, quote, new series of revolutionary observations and new questions about the mysterious Martian planet and its atmosphere, along with its magnetic fields. Now, this big green worm apparently is giant. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. And, you know, they call it a worm because that's what it looks like, and it spans thousands of miles from the daylight side of planet Mars all the way to the nighttime side. So we are talking a planet-spanning aurora on a planet that supposedly has almost no atmosphere. Yet again, we've shown on this channel that many of the Martian photographs that first came out showed blue skies with clouds and dust storms, much like on Earth. And when you're looking at this main image here, it's just amazing. We've never seen anything like this. And so it brings up questions, further questions that I've had about Mars for years now, which is that it is much more active than we are being told by NASA, otherwise known as Never a Straight Answer, or Never Admitting Space Anomalies. Take your pick. But one thing is for certain, which is that this so-called discrete Martian aurora was a, quote, shocking discovery, who said that, quote, in many ways it had us scratching our heads and going back to the drawing board. Another thing to note that I discovered while researching into this is that right around the same time that this story broke, also published within the last 24 hours, was the fact that there were two giant earthquakes, or Marsquakes as they're called, that completely rocked the far side of Mars. And as you're seeing in this report, the new seismic events are the largest Marsquakes to ever be recorded. Now, isn't that a coincidence that we have a giant green worm-like cloud spanning the entire planet, and then right at the same time, NASA's Marsquake hunting lander detected two of the largest seismic events to date, and on the far side of the planet no less. NASA's InSight lander touched down on Mars in November 2018, carrying the most sensitive seismometer ever designed to detect earthquakes, or Marsquakes, huge rumblings under the soil. And since the mission's arrival, it has detected countless events dubbed Marsquakes, using signals to map the planet's interior. But the two newly announced quakes were something special, according to scientists on the mission. They said, quote, not only are they the largest and most distant events by a considerable margin, these Marsquakes have a spectrum and duration unlike any other event previously observed on Mars. So something major happened on Mars, something deep underground. Major event, never seen anything like it before or detected, let alone on the far side of the planet. Then we have this massive green planet-spanning aurora, again, something we've never seen. And so something strange is happening with Mars, guys. But anyway, tell me what you think down below. So now on to some UFO footage. I know that is what you guys want. So first off today, I want to show you a newly discovered clip of a UFO that has apparently been captured 3 different times over the same city, over Colombia. And the city I'm speaking of is Medellin, Colombia, or Medellin, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But if you guys remember a few videos back, I posted one of these clips that was taken from out of an airplane cockpit by a pilot who noticed this strange sort of diamond-shaped object high above the clouds, moving at an extremely high rate of speed, and you're seeing that footage here, also tracked, flying beneath his plane and then out of sight. And it's very eerie footage. They are very high up, and this thing looks to be moving with purpose, and it's moving extremely fast. And so the other 2 clips of this were then linked with that piece of footage originally by Scott C. Waring of UFO Sightings Daily, who posted a video about it where apparently this same object has been captured 3 different times and now in a new video above Medellin, Colombia. And you're seeing those 3 clips side by side as posted, all showing what looked to be the same object. And so here is the newest clip, so check this out.
Se oscureció mucho.
A mí me salió tiene forma como de diamante. No, y de que está explotando.
Ya no lo Ah, ya lo vi.
Pero flota, ¿cierto? Está grande.
Sí.
Se nos mete acá.
Sí, marica, es un ovni.
Es una cometa gigante.
Es un ovni, voy a hacer la perspectiva. Aquí estamos en Medellín. Mírenlo.
Abril 9.
¿Qué se hizo?
22 a la derecha. 6 y 14.
Marica, mire, tiene. ¿Eso qué es? Se me perdió. Está en la nube, está en la nube. Ahí lo cogí.
Es rojo. No es una cometa.
Creo que es una cometa perdida.
No, no puede ser una cometa.
Pero porque una cometa no se mueve así.
¿Es rojo? ¿O es un dron?
No, no puede ser un dron.
No, tampoco es un dron.
Ay, ya me dio cuenta.
Un globo de. Un globo meteorológico podría ser.
Puede ser. Es rojo.
Ahí para que los investigadores del fenómeno ovni lo puedan captar. Estas son las montañas.
Estamos en la estación suramericana del metro de Medellín.
Estamos en la ciudad de Medellín, papito.
Se mueve rápido.
Sí, se mueve muy rápido.
Pues no tan rápido.
Claro que sí.
Se mueve como un avión.
Ovni en Medellín, mire, vea pues.
Y acérquelo.
Pico presidente. ¿Qué hora es?
Son
Sí.
las 6
6 y 15.
¿Dónde putas? Ay, mira, está bajando.
¿Está bajando? ¿Se perdió?
No, está ahí, está bajando.
Ya no lo veo.
Mire, mire, ahí está. Por los edificios. Puente, puente, allá. No, para tu
¿Estamos a qué?
6 y 15, 9 de abril.
9 de abril del 2022, 6 y 15.
Está bajando por los edificios, míralo. Se fue por detrás de los edificios.
Okay, so this was posted on April 9th, actually, now that I'm checking. So definitely this month, and it was posted by John Vargas YouTube channel, and I'll post the link to this original video down below, show him some love, where translated, he posted the title, UFO over Medellin, Colombia, April 9th, with a question mark. This looks distinctly similar to what was captured from the airplane above the clouds, as well as a second earlier piece of footage of a very similar object, again over the same city. So that leaves us with a question, could this be a drone? I don't know. In all of these videos, the objects look to be very far away. When you're talking about typical drones, we're talking an object that's not usually more than a foot wide, maybe a little more, and not easily seen. This appears as, a defined black sort of diamond-shaped object at extreme distances, yet it's still highly visible, which leads me to believe it's much larger. It's been captured above the clouds, moving at an extreme high rate of speed, and so, yeah, any viewers, and I know I have viewers in Colombia, do you know what it is? Is it someone letting off balloons? Again, I've never seen balloons act with such purpose as these objects seem to be doing in multiple pieces of footage, ranging from 2020 to April of this year. So tell me what you guys think down below. Now next, I know you guys have been wanting to see some new UFO footage, if any, out of Ukraine. Originally, you guys have probably seen footage like this of webcams in the capital city of Kyiv of these large white lights, or whatever you want to call them. Some have said these are drones, but again, I don't know any drone that at night and at far distances glows with such an extremely bright white light to where it just looks like a giant ball of plasma or something like that. Drones are typically stealthy, very small, and do not emit a giant white light around them or sphere of light. We've also seen these giant white lights appear near explosions, as you're seeing here, just sort of hovering in the sky as there is an eruption on the ground. But then we have some other strange sightings, such as this, where someone captured, oddly or coincidentally enough, right next to, I've confirmed, is likely an Orthodox church in the capital city. And we see this very strange cross or plus sign like outline in the clouds. And as you're seeing some close-ups and we're circling the object and bringing down the brightness and upping the contrast, it's for sure there. There's something there that strangely is directly next to a church and is in the shape of the very symbols on top of these golden steeples. But I don't see how it could be a reflection, and it doesn't even match the angle, really, of any of these. So, very strange. Here we have another one of these large, white, glowing spheres. If that's what it is, I don't know what the shape of it actually is, but nonetheless, hovering above the trees. Again, like previous or earlier footage, but I have some new footage for you guys that is even more amazing. So first we'll start off with this, and none of these have sound because some of them have music over them or just loud booming sounds, so we'll just review the footage. And this is, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know where it is, I don't have any information, but we see this smoke plume coming up from what appears to be an impact, and we see this sort of shiny disc-looking object that at one point looks to either flash a white light or is possibly catching a reflection from the sun, giving us a quick glint of light toward the camera. And it seems to be just hovering there. Very, very eerie, but really cool footage compared to just a white light in the sky. Now, this footage really astonished me because this object was said to have been and is shown to be captured from daylight to nighttime. So at first we see it when there's some light out in the sky, and it just seems to be a light that's just sitting there, not moving, static, above what appears to be an ocean. I don't know if it's the Black Sea, I'm not sure what it is. Here you're seeing video of the object later that night, still sitting there, glowing in the sky. And what was amazing is that at one point in the footage, you can actually see tracer rounds. So someone is firing toward this object. A tracer round is usually when every other bullet contains what is called a tracer tip, which when sent through the barrel towards something leaves a streak of color behind it so that you know exactly where you are aiming and you can see where your rounds are heading and whether they are hitting the target or not. And so we can see here that from land, multiples of these tracer rounds being fired at this object, looking to come into contact with it, but the object just stands totally still. And you're seeing color-enhanced versions to bring out the tracer rounds a little bit more as they fly up at thousands of miles per hour towards this glowing object. And then we have later on some nighttime footage of the object still there. And these tracer rounds, which again is usually sometimes it's every other round, sometimes it's every 5 or 10 rounds, but here they are, still streaming up from, who knows, maybe up to a mile away, heading right for this thing, and it just doesn't move. And so to have daytime and nighttime footage of this mysterious glowing object sitting there while it's being, directly targeted, which would seem to have no effect, seeing as that it sits there all the way through the night, that's really amazing. And it reminds me of that leaked footage that was infrared, showing 3 or 4 of these mystery orbs, again, sitting still in the sky, almost in a perfect row or straight line, where at one point in the footage we see what looks like some sort of projectile. I don't know if it was like a missile or something like that, but it blasts through all of the objects where you can see a distinct reaction as the projectile hits them, but once that reaction clears up, you notice that the objects are still there, just sitting in the sky. And again, this looks to be from an infrared camera, possibly on a jet or a helicopter or a plane, but we've got 4 objects there that are again hit, and there seems to be no damage whatsoever. So again, tell me what you guys think about the tracer footage. Now, here we have a short clip, again in what looks to be thermal or infrared, of another smoke plume coming up, and just as it does, as captured from what appears to be a high-altitude drone, we see 2 objects moving very quickly above and past this plume that was, without a doubt, most likely caused by the very drone that's filming it. So whatever these 2 objects are flying by likely are not the cause of this plume. And again, they're unidentified. They could be jets, but it was definitely worth showing you guys because maybe they're not. And here they are circled and just some different shots here. So yeah, guys, that is some footage we have from Ukraine. I have got some more footage that I'm currently vetting and will feature in my next video. I have other news and other footage that I have been working to get out. Some potentially very mind-blowing footage. New videos to come. I'm not going anywhere. So if you like this video, help me out in the algorithm, at least until Elon takes it over and makes it back to the old days to where you could find my stuff. It really helps if you throw this video a like, as well as if you post a comment. And if you like UFO related material, and if you're looking for answers and truth about the alien phenomenon, Secure Team is your #1 source. I have thousands of videos. We are the top source on YouTube for UFO, alien related footage, and everything strange happening on Earth and out in space. So thank you guys for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all back in just a bit.